Friends and hello replay watchers, let me know that you are here. I would like to welcome you. I've got my camera backwards, so hopefully I am in focus. Thank you all for hopping on. Let me know if you are new here. I would like to welcome you very much. I appreciate you hopping on. We are going to be working on this little small cotton board, and we're going to transform it with some feet into a little riser. You can leave it as is and put a hanger in it, but I'm going to change it into a riser. Let me find us on my phone here. Where are we at? Here we are. And again, I appreciate all of you hopping on. Let me know that you are here. There we go. Sometimes when I have my phone backwards so that you can read the words, I really don't know what you are seeing. I know I see it on my iPad, and the iPad is a little bit delayed, so it's always fun. All right, let's get started. This set came from Craft Deals, and it comes packaged just like this. Got everything in it, and you can use it with the feet or without the feet, but that is where that came from. We will use a stencil from the Stencil of the Month Club, and this is the small set, and we will use the Hello Pumpkin one. And if you are not familiar with the Stencil of the Month Club, I'm an ambassador for Essential Stencil. If you have a need for any type of stencils or brushes, transfers, check out Essential Stencil. You can always use my code WK21 to get you an extra discount. But these particular ones are from the Stencil of the Month. This was August design. And they have two different sets. They have a premium set, which are 12 by 16s, and then they have the basic set, which is an 8 by 6. And you can choose to get either one. You could choose to get both. And then the premium also has an add-on that corresponds with the design, and you can add that on as well. You can choose to do it on a monthly basis, 3 months or 6 months, and they come straight to your door every month. New designs. They're not available on the regular page. You can hop over to stencilofthemonthclub.com and check it out. You'll see the new designs for September, and you have until the 13th to go and subscribe to that. And if you use my code, if you've never been a member before and you use my code WK21 there, then you are able to receive the little one. This one will be free to you. Of course, tax shipping will have to be paid extra. And on the big one, you will receive 50% off. So check it out, see what they have. If you love stencils, if you love Essential Stencil and you've never been a member, check it out. All right, let's get going on our little pumpkin here. I am going to use Ancient Ember from Country Chic for this one. I'm going to get this little paint booger out on the bottom. Yep, I think that might be enough paint for right now. We will also use Country Chic wax to wax it, and then we're going to add burlap on top. Let me know if you guys can see good, and hopefully I will be able to see comments. I'm looking for a brush. Let me use this one. I'm just going to use this one. It's been a well-loved, used brush. I normally dab my brushes and wet them a little bit. Now I'll get my paper towels out. I always wet mine and then dab them off. Let me move some of this riffraff out of the way. Moisture helps your paint glide a little bit better. And I am going to paint the whole thing, front, back, sides, everything, because I like my pieces to be finished all the way around. And I'm going to hold onto the handle for as long as I can. It comes with a good handle to hold while you painting your sides and everything. I had a little extra paint right there as I was trying to get up. So how has everybody been? Did you guys see the apothecary bottles that we created on Monday? I've posted a video today where you can see some close-up shots. Those were so much fun to make. I hope you had a chance to look at those. If anybody is interested in any of the items that I create, everything is available. I have a little booth at a local market. And for those of you that are local, it is at Mercantile and Market in Concord, North Carolina. But I also ship, so if there's anything that I create that you see, or if there's something that you would like with different colors, everything is available. It is customizable. So let me know what you're interested in. What would you like? I just added a little bit of water to make this move a little bit more. Then I'm going to dry the bottom up, and then we're going to paint the handle. So everything is customizable to an extent. I can change colors. I can move the design around. If you see an essential stencil that you would like to see made into a door hanger or a tag or a shelf sitter, if you see something that's that you've seen in a Walmart or at Hobby Lobby, just shoot me a picture and say, can you make something similar, and we can discuss it. I could try to recreate a lot of different things. They will not be exact, and since these are hand created, no two items will be the same. If you say you want two of something, they will never be exactly the same. They'll be very similar, but they will not be the same, just because it is handmade. The way you apply the colors, the way you do the stencil, the positioning, that's what I love about handmade items. They are all unique in itself. So if there is something that you've got an eye on that you would like made, just let me know. Give me a message, give me a shout out. You can message me on Messenger, you can email me. And now we're going to do the handle, and I'm just going to lay this down because I need, can't put more paint on where the heat gun, can I? Just need a little bit, just a dab. That ought to do it. If you want your hole on the inside done, take a little small paintbrush and go in there and fill that hole in. That way your piece will be finished completely. I just like when everything comes together, and I like double-sided, so many of my signs are double-sided. I like door hangers and tags and shelf sitters. I either like to put what they call an evergreen, which is a every season design, like for a door hanger. That can be just a regular welcome or a hello. And then on the other side, I like to do a seasonal piece. And I'm going to take a small, scruffy little brush. Got a little bit extra paint right here, and I'm just going to swirl that around in there. Might have to get me just a smidge more. You know what? I think I've got enough on here. There we go. And fill this little hole. Now I said scruffy brush. See what happens to your brush when you do that. So don't take your best brush to do this with. Use a little scruffy one, because they end up looking like that. Let's dry this, and then I am going to sand it because you could see the grain coming out. And I don't know if Craft Deals still has a sale going on. I know they've had one. I think they might until the end of the month. So if you're looking for anything from Craft Deals, go check that out. I am not an affiliate, so I do not have a code for them. I'm using my 120 grit sanding block. Hey Kimberly, hey Miss Bonnie. Good morning, ladies. So glad you are here. Crafting with friends is always more fun. And there we have it sanded. I'm okay with it looking like this because we are going to put, where did it go? Oh, right here. We're going to put wax all over this. And this is from Country Chic. I really like their paint. It's similar to Fusion Mineral Paint. I have not gotten many of their paints yet. I'm doing little by little. I still love my Deco Art. I mainly use Deco Art. And I will do this all the way around. I could leave the back in this color, but I am going to go ahead and go all the way around. And remember, I sometimes forget, do not use wax if you are putting a transfer on, unless you leave it only on the edges and don't put your design on the middle, because your transfer will not hold. Alright, now we can put our burlap. That's what I'm choosing to use. And this time I am going to take I'm going to use use this brush. Thought about doing a crackle, but I figured that this might be, and you see how the Deco Art paint is much thinner. But I thought we'll do it this way today. Instead of doing crackle. Crackle would have looked really good too. And before I put my brush in the bucket, I should have painted their little feet. What are you guys crafting on? Are you doing Halloween? Are you still fall? What are you guys creating this week? And I will check comments here in just a second again. I'm gonna put some paint on my... Actually, I can just swing this around and do it this way. Yes, you can use Miss Cindy's code, craft deal code. I always like to share codes for other creators. It helps them out. So use Miss Cindy's code. Anytime you can save some money, I like to share that with you. Thank you, Bonnie, for posting that. And I want to say thank you all for sprinkling this out. I am over 800 followers now, and I'm so excited. You guys have helped me get there. So that is very exciting. And that all happens from sprinkling, which is S-H-A-R-E. When you spread out the whimsy to others, that's how that happens. Got a fingerprint. Let's get rid of that fingerprint. And again, my code for Essential Stencil, which helps me out, is WK21. And I am waiting patiently for Christmas to come out. I'm hoping that will roll Christmas out soon. I have no idea when, but I'm ready. I am ready to see Christmas come out. I'm not ready to see it in the stores, but as a crafter, you've got to get ahead of the game. Because if you have shows locally, maybe your high school is putting on a craft show, or your town, you want to be prepared and have things ready. So you need to go ahead and get your items ahead of time. And I am going to put probably another little coat on here on some of the parts. Just a little bit right here. And right here. Even though we're going to sand most of this back off, I just wanted to make sure it was covered good. Yes, that would be great. I am going to do my little hole up there. Like I said, don't use a good brush. Use a scruffy brush for this. But you don't want to ruin your brush. I'm going to dry it one more time because I don't want all this to come off on my sanding block. Do you guys decorate for Halloween? I don't really decorate for Halloween. But I do like creating some things. I don't create much. I'm going to get me a wipe so I can wipe off my paint off my hands. I just use regular Clorox wipes. Sometimes the oils in baby wipes interfere with what you are creating, so I have learned to use Clorox wipes because you don't want the oils to mess up what you've created. There, now I can put my brush in there. I'm going to do a really light sand, and then I'm going to switch to my 80 grit sandpaper. And see how that is coming along really nice. That will look really good, and I even scraped it to where some of the natural wood from the cotton board itself came through. That is looking really good. And you take your gator sander, or mine is an imitation gator. And get even more off. You can scrub this however much you want off. And I'm just wiping it with my paper towel. Oh, I forgot to do the edges. I'm going to put this back down. Got so excited about the front and the back that I forgot to do the edges. Now we want the same look on all the sides, not just on the front and the back. Now I'll check comments here in just a second, ladies. I'm just wiping everything off really good so that I will not have any crumbs left from my sanding, and then I'm going to clean my place. And this is a cake board that you can buy at the stores to put for cake making. There's one side and there's the other side, and that's what our sides look like. Now we're going to have to decide which side we want to use. I don't know, I think I like this side. That's my thought and I'm sticking to it. I still have to do the feet. If I don't do the feet today, just trust me that I will do the same process on the feet. I am going to do the Hello Pumpkin first. Making sure you guys can see this. Not all the curly cues will fit on here. That tape is gone. Miss Bonnie's tip, put one of those bread tabs on your tape. You will never lose your beginning. Thank you, Miss Bonnie. And Hello Pumpkin, we are going to do in I think I'm going to do it in green. I think I'm going to do the lush green for the Hello Pumpkin. I was debating on whether I wanted to do it in brown, but I think I'm going to do it in green. I'm just going to use a 1/2-inch brush. And I've got my coffee filters right here. I just got them laying on my plate. There's still too much on there. I have pushed the paint up that high into my brush. I am going to offload some more. I'm notorious for offloading way too much. So sometimes I have to add paint back to it. And again, this stencil is out of the stencil of the month. You will not find that on the regular page, on the essential stencil side. Apply a light coat, dry it, go back to your offload spot, get you a little bit more paint, and then apply another coat. It is much better if you use very little paint and apply a couple of coats to achieve no bleed. And as you see, I am still, even though I have it taped, I am still holding my stencil down. And that looks good to me. If you want to take a peek, if you want to see if it looks good, hold on where you've taped it, lift it up, see what it looks like, if you want another coat or not. I think that looks good, and then you can just pull it up. I'm going to dry this. Make sure there is no paint on the back side that you could transfer. And then we're just going to add the pumpkins. They will not all fit on here, which is okay by me. This pumpkin stem is going to, what is it called? It is going to meet up with the P of the pumpkin. Unless I scooch it over a little bit. I think I might do it like that. Scooch it over just a little bit so they will not be interfering too much. I left a little bit of room on the bottom. Like the way that looks. Tape it back up. And we are going to use I'm going to use one of the dome brushes. Mine looked well loved. And we are going to create different shades of pumpkin. I've got salted caramel, spiced pumpkin, cherry red, and then we're also going to use a little bit of brown. I'm going to use the salted caramel first. That's going to be our base color. Same thing, you dip in your brush, you load your brush, and you still have way too much paint on there. So you come to your paper towel and you offload it. These hold a lot of paint, and these bridges are very skinny, so I'm going to hold them on the bottom, and I'm going to come in the middle first. And we're going to color all of them in the same color, and then we're going to add the other colors to it and give our little pumpkin highlights and lowlights and just add a little bit of extra to it. If you run out of paint, go to your offload spot, load your brush back up with a little bit of paint, and we will add a little bit of ground on the bottom. I'm dipping and getting me a little bit more paint. And again, these pumpkins do not fit on here completely. I'm doing very light motion, and I'm going in the shape of the pumpkin. Just very lightly. Get me a little bit more paint. I'm gonna dry this real quick, very quick. Very lightly going over it, making sure we don't forget the little ends down here at the bottom. Got a little spot up here that needs some paint. And now I am not going to even clean my brush off. I am going to go ahead and use the spiced pumpkin. Yeah, you were sick with COVID. My word. And just very little of the darker orange. And like I said, I am leaving the color on my brush. If you want to reuse your brush and see the difference in the color, use lighter to darker. And now I'm just going to go to the outsides of the bridges and just add a little bit of that darker orange. Let's see if you guys can see that. Can you see that difference? It is a very subtle difference. And I've got a delay, so I don't know how much you guys are able to see. Yes, you can see it. Okay, good. Now I'm going to take that cherry red, and we just need a minute little bit to add just a little red tones in our pumpkin. And when I say minute, that is minute, very little. And I am mixing it with the other two colors. And there's our third color for our pumpkin. And we're just going to come in and give him a little bit of highlights here and there. Just ever so lightly. And then you can pick it up and look and see where you might want a little bit more. I'm going to come in from the bottom and give it a little bit more color coming up from the bottom. If this is too red for you, get more of your color out. Then you can go back to your lighter orange. And you just tone it down a little bit. Let's take a peek. I like them like that. See what you guys think. I think they look good, and we're going to add some more things to them. I'm going to put that in my little napkin over there, my little wet rag. We are going to do the stems. I'm going to use the tiny little one, and I'm going to add a little bit of brown to the green so it'll distinguish it from the pumpkin. So I'm going to take a little bit of green and a little bit of that brown, and I'm going to mix them. Then I'm just going to dab. And then I'm going to swirl. I had a little bit extra paint on here, so I didn't want to get that mixed up and bleed, so that's why I dabbed first. I'm going to my offload spot because we don't need much paint, and these detail brushes from Essential Stencil are perfect for little detail work like this. Get me a little bit more paint. Do our last little pumpkin right here. I'm going to dry it and I'm going to add another coat. Ouch. Just burnt myself with the heat tool. These brushes hold a lot of paint, so be very light with it. Because you easily overload them and have bleed. So when you use these, practice with them on cardboard. Take a peek. Need to intensify that a little bit more right here. Like the bottom parts of my swirls didn't do too good. They did not come out clear or detailed enough for me, so we go back over and add a little bit more detail, and that's much better. Looking good so far. Now we're going to fill in those little ribs, and I'm going to use another one of the Essential Stencil brushes. I'm going to wet that brush, and I am going to create a orange, red, brown color because this is going to be darker. The ribs are going to be darker. And I am just mixing it on my and then dab it off because you do have water on there. And it flows better when you have water on your brush. You do want to offload it because you don't want to have too much water on your brush. And I am not making a complete straight line. And this is what I mean. It is not a solid straight line because I don't want it to be I don't want it looking too perfect. If that makes sense. And then I'll go back and get me some more paint. Add a little bit more orange to it. Dab it off. And you can add highlights and lowlights and so much you could do with this. In between, you're going to have to load your brush. You can't expect your paint to go forever. And I will close that up on the top as well. We will close our pumpkin up. And you see how different that looks now with all that little bit of detail on there. It just brings everything together. I'm going to make this a little bit darker right here so that you can see the difference in the pumpkins. A little bit darker over here because you want a little bit of a shadow. Okay, let's get a little bit more of the orange and add just a little bit of that orange in here. Not enough moisture on my brush, so we add a little bit more water. Dab it off. And I'll finish this one out. Layer the paints. And I move my project around. again, I'll just pick up just very little water. It's not much water on my brush. And you can lighten up your colors by just going back over it with the orange. If you think they've gotten too red, go back over that other one over here. Define our little pumpkin a little bit. What do you guys think? Does that look good? You guys still there? I am not seeing any other comments. I'm going to go into the green and I'm going to bring our stem down. I'm going to use just the green for now. And then I will add a little bit of that brown in. But right now I'm just base coating it. I'm going to pick up a little bit of that brown. Need a little bit more. I'm mixing a little bit of the brown and the green together. Got too much water on my brush. Tap it off. And then we're going to bring the orange from the pumpkin up a little bit more as well. That's what it looks like right now. Look, I just lost you. There we are. You folding clothes? Thank you. I'm just trying to help you get to create more 3D looking pumpkins than flat pumpkins. I'm going back to the orange. I'm just adding a little bit of that orangey color. I mixed it with the salted caramel a little bit to just soften the edges up where I added the stem. Had a bristle right there, gotta get rid of the bristle. And then I'm gonna take that salted caramel and I'm gonna add just a little bit of highlights in here. And all these little things just bring your pumpkin to life. And again, if you add a little bit of water, it helps your paint flow a little bit. I don't like how red the ribs are on this pumpkin, so I'm going to take this golden color and I'm going to tone them down just a smidge. I'm basically just using a wash. I got very little paint on here. It is diluted down a little bit more. And I think that looks much better. Now we're still gonna need a little bit of ground under there. And I'm just going to use our brush that we use, and I'm going to take a little bit of that brown take a little bit of the green. Make it look like they're sitting on something. And if you want to, well, if you want to take it a little bit further, you just add a couple of sprigs of grass. I am diluting my paint, and then I'm offloading it. just have a little bit of grass in there. Let's dry this up. And again, I will paint these and add these. And make a riser. I just wanted to show you the hand painting. I thought that was just really pretty. I've made a little bow. I'm going to add two here. Now I've got a little bit of greenery we can add. I also got this berry bush, which will bring out the colors down here really well. So let's start with our, and I know I am going over. I just wanted to show you how to add all those little highlights. I think this one will bring out the colors on the bottom really good. And I'm going to pull this back up. I wish I would have put this down further down. I'm going to put this down first, and then I am going to add my bow. Yeah, sometimes I'm a little backwards. Sorry, guys. I think I might add one little sprig of greenery. And I don't remember where I got this, the colorful one from. I really don't remember. I might have just found it in my stash The other one is the Hobby Lobby Greenberry Bush, which is not available anymore. But Factory Direct has something similar. So that would be a good substitute. I heard that it was lighter in color. I'm thinking that is almost enough on here, because we don't want it too much. We don't want too much stuff on there. Or do we need to put some more greenery on the other side? Do we need to add some more greenery on this side to balance it out? Just a little sprig. It's your show. So what you guys think? Should we add a little bit more greenery on the other side? And I've also got some sisal we can add. Maybe that'd be kind of cool to add back behind here. Let's see if we can squeeze that in. Of course, I put the glue on the wrong side. I just appreciate you guys hanging out. Definitely needs a haircut. I'm trying to cut it uneven because I don't want it to be, you know, like a perfect haircut. Well, that's the fun thing about the sisal, is that it is spriggly. Feel like it could come over to this side a little bit more. Let's see if we can manipulate it over a little bit more. Got some loose pieces. We could pull the loose pieces out because we can always add a little bit more onto the other side. We'll just pick up our pieces right here. Sorry, I'm out of frame probably. Let's give these wild things a little haircut. So what do we think? I think that turned out pretty, and like I said, you can make it as a hanger and hang it up. You could put it in a stand, or I am going to paint these and then glue these on like this. And make a riser out of it. So that way it will sit up, and then you can add a candle to it and sit a little candle on it. And that is all I got for you today, ladies. I hope you enjoyed it. Does it need anything else? There's something missing. What do we need to add? Tell me, tell me. Should we add anything else? I think it looks good. I cannot think of anything else. If you guys can think of something we should add, then let me know. The only other thing we can do is to bring in a little bit of that brown from the berries and from the ground. Well, you can just add a little bit of this dark kills wax. Just add a little bit over top, just to give it some more dimension. All these little things help your project out. And I'm going to add a little bit to the edges right here. It just ages out your project, makes it more vintagey looking. If you don't like that look, you don't have to do that. It's your pumpkin, how you want to do it. If you want to make it bright and colorful, you can make it bright and colorful. I just kind of like that vintagey look. And do a little bit more in some areas than others. And finish out your project. And you can also add like a little bit to the edges of your ribbon. But that is it. That looks good to me. We added a little bit of extra to it and made it our own. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Hey, Barb. All right, let's see who has gone into the Happy Mail bucket. Miss Bonnie is going in the Happy Mail bucket. End of September, we'll be drawing names. Today's already the 28th. Gosh. Well, I've got an eye appointment this afternoon. A good thing we had our creativeness this morning, because they're going to dilate my eyes and check and see if I need new contacts. Actually, I only have one contact. All right, ladies, appreciate you hopping on. I hope you learned something. I hope you know how to take your stencil and add extra things to it. Those that do resin art can put resin over top of this. There's so much you can do with those stencils. And again, this was the August of the month stencil of the month club. And then the 12 by 16 is similar designs but bigger. So check that out. And I appreciate you guys. You guys have a blessed afternoon. I see most of you on Saturday for Soul Filled Saturday. And looking forward to seeing you then.